was like, I prayed and asked God to please save me and to please let me see my families again. I do not want to go with those people. And to my surprise, something got into me and said, you should jump out. And like, I looked down at the truck was still moving. I looked down and the truck is, when you look down, it's scary because the trucks move and the truck is still tall. So I'm like, no way, I'm not gonna make it. So at the end, I said, okay, it doesn't matter if I'm going to make it or not, I'm going to jump out. If I die here, it's better for my family to find my cops and then go with those people and didn't know what they're going to do with me. So I'm like, I'm going to jump out no matter what. So I convinced my friend because she wasn't going to do it. She knows if they see her, they're going to shoot us. So she's like, they're going to kill us. I'm not going to risk it. I'm like, it's okay, let's do it. It's fine, we better die than to go with them. So she's like, okay, sure. And we jumped out, but we ran. When I jumped out, I fell with my stomach. So I got up and started running to the bush. When she saw that, okay, I was okay, so she jumped out as well. But we ran through different directions. We didn't got home together. While I was running in the bush, I met two of my classmates who also jumped out. I screamed because I thought they were the Boko Haram people who came to get me back. So we continued running together. From there, while we were running for hours and hours, we didn't sleep, and a motorcycle man was passing by, and we asked him to please take us home. He said he's not going to take us home without knowing who we are. So we said, okay, we didn't trust from that time on. We didn't trust anyone. We didn't want to tell him who we are because we are scared. We didn't trust him. So I'm like, no, we shouldn't tell him who we are. Some of us said we have to tell him in order for him to help us. We need help. We cannot continue running like this. Our feet are all bloody because the bush was a thorny bush, so it scratched our skin and everything. And they're like, we have to get help. So
I'm going to stop Joyce here. Shining Light TV station, London. You have had what the trauma they gave to these teenagers, You have had all the way they treated them. Let's hear from Nnamdi Kanu, barrister. Let's hear from him.
Deploy people to such an assignment or exercise. There must be history of violence. There must be history of armed struggle. There must be history of people kidnapping, killing, doing all sort of things that cannot be condemned by the civil authority. But in this case, there is no such history. IPOB has no history of armed struggle. IPOB has no history of kidnapping. IPOB has no history of even attacking security agents or burning police station. You can only see them gathering on a rally, insisting on referendum, nothing more. In clear excess of the powers to rise of self-determination as contained under Article 21 of the African Human and General People's Right, and also under Article 1 of the International Charter, right? They have always been civil in the approach or in the exercise of this right. So they don't use gun, they don't use machete, they don't use any form of arm. So tell me the reason why the federal government should deploy troops to Southeast to go and fight them. It's uncalled for. Clear up possible.
Have you been under any threats during the course of being Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer?
Well, I can't say. Apparently, I'm under threat. Of course, they are making some moves towards getting at me. So through illegal means, because so I know and understand. Before now, I raised an alarm about some people that are going to my office to make inquiries. So only this morning, someone came to my office. He didn't come up upstairs. Actually, he came in military uniform. He was asking after me. I don't have any client for any military man as my client at all. I don't maintain a brief. I don't have any military man as my client. So I know they are actually they're taking steps to see how to get at me. So I've already alerted the international community and also the world, but I know that they cannot get at me. That's very certain because God I worship is wrong. Thank you.
The president, in his broadcast on October 1st in honor of the nation's 57th anniversary, said that, and I quote, "At all events, proper dialogue and any desired constitutional changes should take place in a rational manner." Is this to say that Nnamdi Kanu was opposed to dialogue with the federal government?
No issue on this issue. Before now, when, okay, so a few weeks before the military were deployed to Southeast for this covert operation they called the Operation Python Dance, the Southeastern state governors engaged him on a dialogue, a discussion, which he honored. And an understanding was about to be reached. So, in the course of the discussion, he called me. I had a meeting with him. I was like, no problem, let us there, listen to them and see possible of resolving some of these issues. Right? Because their issues are genuine. Their concerns are genuine. So, and they want to look into it. So now, if it's not advanced to that dialogue, discussing with them, start giving them audience, you would have honored the invitation in the first place. So, but it's now for them to come together. Let him tell them what he wants. He's talking about referendum and nothing more. He's not pushing violence. Not saying people carry arms, go and kill people. No, he's not saying that.
But you're aware that the Southeast governors also proscribed them as well?
They have no such powers. That's very certain. So, and I know it's an afterthought. What they did was an afterthought. And I condemn it.
Are you also challenging them?
Of course, I told them. And they now withdraw it because they said they never at any point in time declared a terrorist organization. Yeah, they said it. And I told them they have no such power. It's a political statement.
What do you think had made them to do so?
No, because I understand some of them are, let me just use the foul language, some of them are cowards. And some of them are saying that because of they want to secure their political offices. But I can assure you that all of them, the youths will come out 2019 to sweep all of them out. They're going to be voted out of office for doing that.
Was there at any point where you thought that things might go this way? Did you ever think that way?
Well, I never envisaged this.
This is Shining Light TV station, London, worldwide. Let me get into this. Somebody asking for a referendum is not a crime. It's the government should listen to what Nnamdi Kanu is asking. Since civil war, you haven't done anything for the Igbos. You said that they won't be part of the office. You said that they will not be part of the office. Okay, they say, okay, the Igbos, the IPOP, the Biafran people, if you don't want us to be part of this office, let us go our own way. You are the one, the federal government is creating the problem. You are not rationing the whole seat, the whole offices the way it should be. It's not really federalism, the way you should handle it, The president have to appoint everybody, not by voter system. You have to appoint minister of this, and everybody that the president is appointing is from the Fulani, the Janjaweed, And look at the Boko Haram now. When president came, I heard him when he said that the first thing I'm going to be handling is the corruption. See now, you could not handle Boko Haram. Boko Haram, they are growing every day. They are growing. The governors cannot show their work. When they give the governors a contract to do, they will not do it. They pocket the money. The senators, they give them contract to do, they will not do it. They are senators, they are contractors, they are CEO of certain company in the system. The civilians don't have anything. The people that finished their university, you did not create any employment. You did not, infrastructure wasn't developed. How is the system going to work? The students, there's no security, insecurity all over the whole country. They are killing day and night. Look at the Chibu girls. Look at what this teenager is talking about. Look at the future of the country. They came to this girl, want to do medicine, and they want to just destroy her for nothing's sake. Shining Light TV station, London. We need to be talking. We need to be talking. They like it or they don't like. We need to be passing our message across the whole world. Nnamdi Kanu is not a terrorist. He's a human rights fighter, an activist. He's agitating for his own people. Shining Light TV station, London. And you know that Ojukwu fought this war, and the Biafra is there already.
I never envisioned this kind of rascality, barbarism, and also this kind of violent approach to containing civil unrest or people as a peaceful and lawful agitation. And I've not envisaged that.
Okay, let's discuss some scenarios. If Nnamdi Kanu were to disappear, as you had said, how will it affect the struggle that he has begun already?
Well, as you are fully aware, IPOB is a lawful organization or group, and so it has structure in place already. And they have a structure, so they have a roadmap towards implementing and actualizing the independence of Biafra, which are going about it lawfully. So that's why that was why they've been calling for referendum to be conducted.
But since his disappearance, there's not been any much progress. I mean, it's assumed that they are all waiting for him to.
Well, the point is that they know that of course you should know that IPOB has branches all over the world. Of course you should know. Yeah. So and I know that they must produce in one day. There's no two ways about it. The military must produce in one day. We're in court now, so they must produce in one day. That one, there's no doubt about it. They must produce in one day.
Aside from being Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer as well as IPOB's lawyer, do you agree? Do you sympathize with IPOB's ideologies?
Of course. I sympathize with ideology. These are people that have been relegated to the background. These are people that have been treated like third class in the country. People have been marginalized in a manner that the whole world has seen it. They are being treated as if they are nothing. They are not relevant in the scheme of things. They are not recognized. So and they cannot continue to keep quiet. So that's why they're raising awareness. That they're raising their voice. So I had expected the federal government to call them to at least approach them for dialogue and see what are their grievances. Right? You have 4 children, or let me just say you have 4 children. Somebody say I don't want you to be my father again. It's not an offense under the law.
So you're saying that you agree to
it's not offense.
IPOB saying
what I will do as the father is to call him, come. What offense have I committed? What have I done to you? Right? And so you cannot listen to the person, know his grievances, know his concerns, and see how to address it. Right? And so I sympathize with them and Igbos in general. Not only IPOB, because IPOB the IPOB are Igbos. So Igbos are not neighboring states, of course. And so
you also agree that Nigeria should break up.
Well,
yes.
The point is that we are talking about confederation and federalism, right? True federalism in the country. So if these issues are looking through, well, if there's a true federalism in the country being practiced as contained under the constitution, then I don't think we should be having this kind of situation. I don't think it will be to a reasonable extent.
Shining Light TV station. We are moving to Joyce documentary. You know.
Who we are, and he's like, yeah, sure, why not? So he took us back to Chibok, and while we went back to Chibok, parents from the schools went to the school and look, there are no students, and everyone is crying. Where are the students? When they saw us, they gathered around. Where are the rest of the girls? We're like, we jumped out of the truck. We don't know. Some of them jump out as well. So I don't know if your kids are in it, if your daughter is in it, but we don't know. So they might get back. So be patient, and we just comfort them where everyone is crying. While I went home, my mom was as well crying, like I am dead. So my neighbors were there for her, comforting her and everything.
This is Shining Light TV station, London, worldwide. You can see the continue of Governor Show Us Your Work. Senator, where is your surgery? Voters' rights. Imagine, thank God I've been talking about these Chibu girls. I want to do documentary about the boarding house. And this thing, I was going through the internet studying, and this documentary surfaced, you know. So this is what we are talking about. Governor, show us your work. Senator, where is your surgery? Voters' right. In a country like that, Boko Haram is claiming they are terrorists. You know, who brought Boko Haram? Is it not the government? You know, the government wants to rule their voters as with terrorists. You know, they did not provide security for them. Look at, this is why I'm interceding on this documentary. I'm going to send the message, and I know I want to do a lot of documentary about Chibu girls, about kidnapping of students. You know, this is part of Governor, show us your work. Senator, where is your surgery? Voters' right. And this documentary is not copyright. We are just using it to analyze the work of Governor. Show us your work. Senator, where is your surgery? Voters' right. You can see what is going on. Is that government? I can't see this as a government. Thank you. We continue. Let the girl continue with her speech.
And two congresswomen from the United States, Congress Wilson and Joyce, they went to Nigeria to hear the story from us because they've been hearing like a little bit of the story. They don't know the complete story. So they went to Nigeria to hear from the students who escaped. And that was how she looks for scholarship here for us to continue our studies. And I didn't want to continue studying because of what they said at that time. But when I was accepted in Grundy, Virginia, I'm like, okay, I want to become a doctor, save lives. Then if I do not go to school, that is not going to be possible. So I have to go to school. I'm thinking of making that decision while I'm still thinking that the voice that said, do not go to school or else wherever you go, do not think you're safe. We are going to get
Look
you.
at the trauma.
So that voice is still there.
Following her.
I'm still deciding. I'm like, okay, fine. I'm going to go to school no matter what. So I'm not giving up my dreams. I'm going. And that was how I made the decision of coming here to continue my study. My own prayers and hope is like for schools to be protected and for students not to go through what I went through because it wasn't a good experience and no student will want to go. I will never want to repeat that horrible experience. So I do not want any student to go through that same experience. And the way that will happen is if schools are protected. So my own advice is the government need to protect schools for students to go and study their careers and go out and just change the world, be involved. Without education, then we'll not even all be here. Like everyone has a good position because of an education. So why preventing other children of their own right? Like it's the right of every child to go to school. That's what I believe. So if schools are protected, if the government protects its people, and the students are being protected and feel safe to study, then they will study their career and go out and be. If the schools are not protected, then many generations will not be educated, which will not be good because no one will get a good position and no one will be a leader because of educations. Some of us got to be presidents, ambassadors, chairmen, and we just have good positions. Then why is it that we cannot protect other students to study? Another day we will not all be here. Then the young generations need to be in that same position in order to make the nations, to make the countries move on. So if we are not protected to study in a safe place, and then we've been attacked, killed, and by people who do not believe in education, then all that dreams and hope and the dreams and hope of children studying and becoming something in the future to help the nations, then it will not be possible. So I advise that schools should be protected, and thank you so much for listening.
Medicine. Look at
voices and I can hear them shouting and shooting guns outside. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, the Boko Haram terrorists are here. And we were all freaked out. We got up and we were praying for our families because I didn't grow up there even though I was born there. So I just hear stories that whenever they visit families, they kill the men and then kidnap the women, or kill the men and then leave. So I was praying. We were all praying for our families to get to a safe place because they were all around the town. And while we were deciding on what to do, we were all Some of us said we should just run out, and some of us said we should climb the walls and get out. But some of us said we're not allowed to leave the school, so we should just stay. We were still deciding on what to do, and a man just came in. We always scared, so we started to kind of run, and he's like, "No, you shouldn't run. I'm just here to protect all of you." So there is nothing.
Let's stop Joy's interview.
Go and keep people. No, you don't say that.
But you're aware that the Southeast governors also proscribed them as well.
They have no such powers. That's very certain. So I know it's an afterthought. What they did was an afterthought. And I condemn it.
Are you also challenging them?
Of course, I told them, and they now withdraw it because they said they never at any point in time declared a terrorist organization. Yeah, they said it, and I told them they have no such power. It's a political statement.
What do you think had made them to do so?
No, because I understand some of them are. Let me just use the foul language. Some of them are cowards, and some of them are saying that because of they want to secure their political offices. But I can assure you that all of them, the youths will come out 2019 to sweep all of them out. They're going to be voted out of office for doing that.
Was there at any point where you thought that things might go this way? Did you ever think that way?
Well, I never envisaged this. I never envisaged this kind of rascality, barbarism, and also this kind of violent approach to containing civil unrest or a peaceful and lawful agitation. And I've not envisaged that.
Okay, let's discuss some scenarios. If Nnamdi Kanu were to disappear, as you had said, how will it affect the struggle that he has begun already?
Well, as you are fully aware, IPOB is a lawful organization or group, and so it has structure in place already. And they have a structure, so they have a roadmap towards implementing and actualizing the independence of Biafra, which are going about it lawfully. And so that's why that was why they've been calling for referendum to be conducted.
But since his disappearance, there's not been any much progress. I mean, it's assumed that they are all waiting for him to.
Well, the point is that they know that of course you should know that IPOB has branches all over the world. Of course, you should know. Yeah. So, and I know that they must produce in one day. There's no two ways about it. The military must produce in one day. We're in court now, so they must produce in one day. That one, there's no doubt about it. They must produce in one day.
Aside from being Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, as well as IPOB's lawyer, do you sympathize with IPOB's ideologies?
Of course. I sympathize with the ideology. These are people that have been relegated to the background. These are people that have been treated like third class in the country. The Igbos have been marginalized in a manner that the whole world has seen it. They are being treated as if they are nothing, they are not relevant in the scheme of things. They are not recognized. So and they cannot continue to keep quiet. So that's why they're raising awareness, that they're raising their voice. So I had expected the federal government to call them, to ask, at least approach them for dialogue and see what are their grievances, right? You have 4 children, or let me just say you have 4 children. Somebody say, I don't want you to be my father again. It's not an offense under the law.
So you're saying that you agree to
it's not an offense.
IPOB saying
what I would do as the father is to call him, come. What offense have I committed? What have I done to you? Right? And so you cannot listen to the person, know his grievances, know his concerns, and see how to address it. Right? And so I sympathize with them and the Igbos in general. Not only IPOB, because IPOB the IPOB are Igbos. So Igbos are not neighboring states, of course. And so
you also agree that Nigeria should break up.
Well,
the
point is that we are talking about confederation and federalism, right? True federalism in the country. So if these issues is looking through, well, if there's a true federalism in the country being practiced as contained under the constitution, then I don't think we should be having this kind of situation. I don't think it will be to a reasonable extent address some of the concerns they are raising, right? Because when the system is structured, we cannot talk about the second part of it.
Are you aware that some of the vocal, provocative speeches by Nnamdi Kanu were exactly the same thing done in Rwanda sometime in 1994?
What do you classify?
Which led to a very...
What do you classify a provocative speech from him? Because I don't think I've had any of such statement from him.
Saying that he will go to Abuja and bring back the head of Buhari.
I didn't hear that.
You did not hear that? There were videos everywhere.
No, I didn't hear that. Of course, you see, I have been able to observe so many things in the course of this case.
You are saying that since Nnamdi Kanu started his agitations, he's never made any.
Let me say this. In the course of this brief, I've observed so many anomalies. Right? One, there's so much propaganda all over the places. People hijack internet, video chops, photo chops, bring pictures and all whatnot, just oppose, and we tell you that Nnamdi Kanu says this or did that. Are you getting me? So I cannot confirm to you that I didn't hear him speak
Even
that.
the ones on Biafra Times and on Radio Biafra?
I said I didn't hear him speak that. I'm telling you now. If I'm with him and I hear him speak that, I will say that I was him when he spoke that. Yes.
And you don't think that there's some of the things that he's doing could lead to the kind of genocide that happened in Rwanda?
You see, let me say this to you. What you should be concerned about is modus operandi, right? And the message the person is preaching. Fantastic, right? So it is message that give rise to whatever you're talking about, whether you're talking about genocide or whatnot. But simple message in this kind is saying, one, he told them there will be no election in Anambra State. Now, by saying that there will be no election in Anambra State, he's telling his faithfuls not to participate in the election, which is a civil disobedience rather than the law. Right? Don't go and vote. Not that you should go and disrupt. Are you getting me? So, which is a right exercised under the law. He's not preaching violence, not asking them go and take up arms against the state. Go and fight the police, go and fight the military. No. But he said he can only kill this country with truth. He said it. I can remember that one. He said he can only kill this country with nothing but truth. We're not going to use arms, we're not going to use machetes, we're not going to use any weapon of any kind. But his weapon is truth and nothing more. That's the message I understood. What I understood from his message and nothing more.
If Nnamdi Kanu were to reappear or resurface somewhere else in the future, would this not affect your credibility as a lawyer?
How can you affect my credibility as a lawyer?
It would mean that you've been lying the whole time.
How am I lying? I told you that my client's house was invaded on the 1st of September by the military. And I've not seen him. Are you getting me? So until when I see him, I don't know whether he's alive or dead. That's what I'm saying. How can you affect my credibility?
During the
I'm speaking with you now. Maybe if okay, go on.
No, I'm listening to you speak. Talk.
Okay, just let me just not digress. Go on.
We're interviewing you, so express yourself.
So what I'm saying now, I will have an interview now. Maybe afterwards something happened, but God forbid, I didn't hear from you again. I will say I didn't hear. I've not been able to speak to Chinwe again. I don't know what anything that must happen to him, to her, right? So with us, if eventually I heard about you surfacing in the next 1 or 2 months, will that affect my credibility? Yeah?
Okay. During the whole course of the military invasion on his residence, there was a video that went viral, and that video was about supposed IPOB members, reportedly, searching buses that were, on the highways southeast, looking for Hausa people to kill. Now, is this not a cause for worry? How did a fight between Nnamdi Kanu and the federal government and IPOB become an ethnic war?
Okay, let me ask you this question. Who told you that those people you are talking about were searching for Hausa to kill?
I saw the video.
No, I'm talking about
Barrister, I saw
you listen and talk. You hear them talking?
Yes, I did.
Even
though they were speaking Igbo, you should hear.
Okay, I didn't hear that one.
You did not watch the video. You didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
Why do you think you're
I'm a lawyer, of course. I'm a lawyer. I have to be clear. I have to be careful about what I say, of course.
Of course you have to.
Yeah. So I have to be certain about what I tell you as a lawyer. Mm-hmm. Are you getting me? I didn't hear that one.
So you feel that this fight between IPOB and the federal government did not escalate to something between Igbo and Hausa?
Are you not aware that IPOB at one time or the other issued a statement asking the Northerners living in the Southeast to remain calm, that are not after them? Didn't you hear their statement? Didn't you see it? I'll make it available to you. They should, in the heat of this issue, they issued a statement asking Northerners living in the Southeast, in the Southeastern region to remain calm. They're not after them. They're not after violence. They're not going into violence. Okay. Yes, didn't you see the statement? I'll make it available to you. I have it.
Okay. Barrister, there was this Turkish diplomat who IPOB did say was in support of the agitations. And later on, Turkey government came out to say that they don't know of any Turkish diplomat and they are not in support of any cessation away from Nigeria. This speaks a lot about Nnamdi Kanu. This speaks a lot about IPOB. And this means that so far they've been dishonest. How do you react to that?
I didn't get the question clearly. Come again.
There was a certain Turkish
diplomat.
Yes. That IPOB, kept saying he was a Turkish diplomat. We're not sure, we're not certain. But the Turkish government released a statement that went viral as well.
Yes.
Saying that they are not aware of that man that IPOB claims to be a Turkish diplomat working in support of.
Did you verify that report? Did you investigate that report? Who told you that man is not a Turkish diplomat?
Why would the Turkish government come out to release?
No, but you investigate it. I'm just asking.
Why would the government go against itself?
What? I said you have to investigate whatever you're hearing from some of this for the report.
We're not hearing.
Online. So, but I don't know about this. I know that at one time or the other, I saw a Turkish diplomat who paid a visit to my client. I saw it on tele and
yes,
online.
And the Turkish government said they don't know about that man. And they are not, the government itself is not in support of any cessation away from Nigeria.
Yes. No, what we are going to do to ascertain the veracity of their claim is to investigate the person who visited my client to know whether it's a Turkish diplomat.
So this is a case of the Turkish government lying?
Yeah, of course. You have to investigate the person to know whether it's really a Turkish diplomat.
Okay. What will happen to the next court case if Nnamdi Kanu does not show up in court?
Well, I'm hopeful that military will produce him before that 17th of October. I'm very hopeful, very certain.
You're certain?
Yeah, I'm very certain because we'll file action against them in court, which anyone from now the court will give a date for hearing. So, and they know that if they didn't produce him in court, nothing much will happen in court.
How about his parents? Are they missing as well?
No, I don't think so. So I'm sure of my client. I don't know about the parents, but I know that they will produce him before that 17th.
You're not in touch with his parents?
I do discuss with his brothers, siblings. Yeah, I'm in touch with them.
They are not missing?
I don't think they're missing.
Okay. Till this day, up until now, the military claims that they did not kill anybody at the Nnamdi Kanu residence. Can you tell us the true state of things?
I've severally told people to start disregarding or discountenancing what military is telling them. Because they've been speaking from both sides of the mouth. You were here when the military declared IPOB a terrorist organization, came back and made a vote face that IPOB is no longer, they didn't say such thing. They said they didn't say such thing. And it was clearly contained in the statement they issued. And they said they didn't say such thing. That is one thing you should observe about them. So they, at one time, when the military issued a statement, shortly after the invasion of my client's place, that they went there and discovered bombs and discovered some, didn't you read it? That they discovered some bombs or whatever they call it. Are you getting me? So when we raised alarm about the whereabouts of my client, they now started denying they didn't enter there. And when the British government requested the federal government to observe them on the whereabouts of their citizen. Right? So they've been speaking from both sides of the mouth at all times. So I urge you to verify whatever reports you're getting from them and possibly disbelieve them.
Has the federal government...
Because what took place in my client's place on the 14th day of September 2017 is a clear case of state-sponsored terrorism and genocide. That's what took place there. And we have the video clips. It's unimpeccable and clear. You see the gunshot. You see when they were approaching. You see the gunshot. You see some cops they left behind at the point they were leaving. You see, you can even the video I sent you. If you going viral, you also see them shooting. How can they deny it with their APC armored personnel carrier and their guns? They're not telling the military is not telling they didn't go there.
As a federal
Are you to believe them?
Well, it's not in my place to disbelieve them.
26.38. Oh, well, this is Shining Light TV station, London. We have to go back to Joyce's interview because we want people to see how the children are feeling, because it's not good. The trauma is not easy for them, So we should find a way to be telling the government how to secure the school. In their lifetime, they will keep on remembering all this. Shining Light TV station, London, worldwide.
On outside. We trusted him because the soldiers outside our gates used to come in whenever we scream or are scared, and then they make sure we got.
This is Shining Light TV station, London. You can hear what this lady are talking about Boko Haram. Is it? This is a country we have democracy. The government insecurity in Nigeria. Look at the drama, how they traumatize this teenager, somebody who want to study medicine. Look at what they have done to them. This is Shining Light TV station, London, worldwide. This is what I was studying, because I need to study all this documentary. We study like where we are studying book, and this documentary surface as I'm going to share it to the world. When they are doing like the government is doing wonderful. This is the government. Since my lifetime, I haven't seen where Nigeria, they are using terrorists to rule a country. Thank you. This documentary is not copyright. I am using it to send a message across the whole world about governor, show us your work. Senator, where is your surgery? Voters' right. Voters' right. This is what it's all about. Thank you. This is the girl will tell you everything they went for through Boko Haram.
Hello, my name is Joy Bishara and I am from Nigeria. On April 14, 2014, the Boko Haram terrorists came into my hometown, Chibok, at night while everyone was asleep. They were shooting guns while coming to our town. I was sleeping and haven't heard of it. My friend waked me up and said, "Joy, can't you hear what is going on?" I said, "No," and I went back to sleep. She said, "Get up, we cannot go to sleep. Something is wrong. The Boko Haram people are here." And she said, "Listen." And I listened to the voices and I can hear them shouting and shooting guns outside. I'm like, "What's going on?" She's like, "The Boko Haram terrorists are here." And we were all freaked out. We got up and we were praying for our families because I didn't grow up there even though I was born there. So I just hear like stories that whenever they visit families, they kill like the men and then kidnap the women, or kill the men and then leave. So I was praying, we were all praying for our families to get to a safe place because they were all around the town. And while we were deciding on what to do, we were all like, some of us said we should just run out, and some of us said we should climb the walls and get out, but some of us said we are not allowed to leave the school, so we should just stay. We were still deciding on what to do, and a man just came in. We all were scared, so we started to kind of run, and he's like, "No, you shouldn't run. I'm just here to protect all of you, so there is nothing wrong. I'm here to protect you from what is going on outside." We trusted him because the soldiers outside our gates used to come in whenever we scream or are scared, and then they make sure we go to bed. They take care of us before they go away. So we trusted him. We thought he was one of them. And he said we should all come in a circle. All of us were in a circle, and then he said, "Okay." Then a lot of them started coming into our school, into the dorm where we were all sleeping. They all came in because we were all in a circle and we have no chance to run. So when they started coming in a lot, that's when I realized, oh no, these are not the soldiers. Not all of them have uniforms, so they're not the soldiers. And it was too late to run because they were all around us with guns and bombs, so we cannot run. And so they said that they're here, they're the Boko Haram people we've been hearing about, and they're the ones who kill, who burn churches. So they're just telling us what they do, and they said if we do not cooperate, same thing is going to happen to us. And we were all scared, crying. Some of us are like praying, and they said we have to tell them where the engine of making block is, like engine making machine, so block making machine. That was what they asked us, but we don't know where it is. We told them we do not know. They thought we were lying, and they asked two girls to stand up among us so they thought the two girls would tell them the truth because we were in a group. They thought we were lying to them, but the two girls did repeat what we said. They said they didn't know where it is, and no one knows. So they're like, okay, if the government sent things to the school, then where does it go? And all we know was the food for the girls, which is the kitchen store. And two girls took them there. They opened the store and started getting the foods out to take with them. They're putting it in their own trucks, and when some of them are still with us in the dorms, then they asked us to start coming to follow them. We were coming out with them, and the schools were burning, we're all on fire, and the fires were like almost touching us, so we were helping each other pass through it. And when we went to the gate, they asked us to sit down, and we all sat down. They burned the schools. We couldn't see any teachers because they do not have mercy. They don't have mercy on anyone. So all the teachers ran away. There's no teachers in the school, and the gate man wasn't there either. And the soldiers that were outside the gate were not there too. So they have strong weapons that even the soldiers doesn't. So they cannot stand to fight them. They all ran away as well. So. And while we were sitting in front of the gate, they were burning the school, the offices, they burned every single building in the school. And then they came to us, and one of the leaders said they should go and get trucks. And my own thought was like, okay, since they don't kill women, then they're going to let us go if they're done doing what they're already doing. So, and then they asked us to start going out. We all walked out, and they're showing our direction for us to go to. And I'm like, okay, are they not letting us go? In my heart, I was like, okay, they're taking us away since they're pointing a direction for us to follow. And all of us went with them. They asked us to sit under a tree, and some of them said we should kneel down. Some of them said, no, it's okay, we should just sit down. And the rest went and brought like 3 trucks, huge trucks that we all, like they said, we should say our last prayer. They're going to kill us. So some of us are crying. We were praying, and I have my friend beside me, who wakes me up. We're together all that while, and she's like, let's just pray that they change their mind, because I do not want to die. I want to go continue my studying. And in that hostel, in our dorms, they told us never to go to school again. And because they said never to go to school again, my own thought was, okay, they're going to let us go then still, since they don't want us to go back to school. But it wasn't like that. They were taking us away. We helped each other in order to climb the truck. There was a small size women car that we have to climb in order to enter the truck, because it was really tall and huge. So we helped each other. They said, if you want to die, you go to the left, and if you want to leave, you go into the truck. So no one wants to die. Everyone was trying to go into the truck, and all of us climbed the trucks. The truck started moving, and while I was in that car, I was like, is this the end of all my struggling, like studying in school, dreaming of becoming a doctor? Is this where it is going to end? My hopes were like, I gave up. I'm like, okay, if this is what God wants, then it's okay. But then at the end, in that same truck, I was like, I prayed and asked God to please save me and to please let me see my families again. I do not want to go with those people. And to my surprise, something got into me and said, you should jump out. I'm like, I looked down at the truck was still moving. I looked down, and it was, the truck is, when you look down, it's